I finally got all the new Incarnon weapons this week, and so far, all I can say is that most of these new Incarnon weapons are upgrades to the existing ones, but they are not meta-breaking. I will make a full review of each weapon, but for now, let's talk about the strongest among the new Incarnon weapons released in Echoes of Duviri. As I said earlier, the new Incarnon weapons are a straight buff to their existing counterparts, but there's a specific Incarnon weapon right now that I think you should try building first. In terms of the fun factor, good synergy with Warframes, and power over the other new Incarnon weapons, I would say that you should try to get the Angstrom Incarnon Genesis first and equip it on the Prisma Angstrom. Why the Prisma version though? Simply because it has higher stats compared to the vanilla version, and the only advantage of the normal one is that it has a higher Riven disposition compared to the Prisma Angstrom. So, this sidearm is a rocket pistol that has innate blast damage. You can charge it to unload more of the weapon's magazine and fire extra projectiles. To be honest with you, I never liked this gun in the past because of the innate blast. The damage of the explosion is also lackluster, and the charging mechanic is kind of annoying sometimes, just to boost the damage of the weapon. The galvanized status mode did buff the Prisma Angstrom for a short time, but then Digital Extremes decided to nerf the interaction and remove the buff on nuke weapons such as this sidearm. It was frustrating, but it is what it is. I'm just glad that Digital Extremes made the Incarnon form usable and good against high-level enemies right now. First of all, I'm very happy that they removed any innate blast from the Incarnon form and replaced it with innate heat damage. Its Incarnon form becomes fully automatic and shoots fireballs that deal pure heat damage. Upon striking an enemy, the projectile reorients itself to strike its torso, then ricochets once toward another nearby enemy. Upon hitting a surface, the projectile bounces off once. Another good thing about this weapon now is that it charges the Incarnon form super fast. With 1 or 2 shots, you can already activate the Incarnon form. Also, there's a Warframe synergy that makes the switching from normal to Incarnon form smooth, and we will discuss that later. For now, let me show you what perk I have chosen for each evolution on my Incarnon Prisma Angstrom. For its second evolution, I chose Haven Foray over Paladin Virtue, simply because the perk is more universal compared to the other one, since you can have Overshield in your Warframe by simply equipping the Decaying Dragon Key mod and using the brief Respitora mod or the Auger mods in your pistol to gain Overshield. The only problem, though, is that it does not apply to Warframes like Inaros. In terms of the other perk, you would need to use Primed Flow and some Archon mods for most Warframes, since not all can have over 700 max energy. Moving on, I picked Swift Deliverance for its evolution 3 to somehow increase the projectile speed of the fireballs in its Incarnon form. The increase in reload speed as well as increased ammo capacity is also good, but it's only applicable in its normal form. Usually, you would just use the normal form to evolve the Prisma Angstrom and not as the main source of dealing damage. And finally, let's talk about the final evolution. At first I was tempted to go with Fatal Affliction for that 40% direct damage add on per status type affecting a target, but after a couple of tests, it seems like Critical Parallel does more damage compared to Fatal Affliction. This is because there are some diminishing returns from the damage boost coming from the arcane I'm using with Prisma Angstrom and the galvanized status mods. The bonus of Fatal Affliction does not stack multiplicatively after the base damage mod, and since Galvanized Aptitude ignores the innate damage of the perks, we may expect Fatal Affliction to have the same case, resulting in lower damage compared to adding more critical chance and critical multiplier in your build. Also, it would require a primer gun to fully gain the highest damage of the setup, and if you just want to use Prisma Angstrom normally, then expect that you will just deal with 2 damage types if you are using the Incarnon form. However, there's a very potent setup that I highly suggest you try out for the Incarnon Prisma Angstrom. With the increased critical chance on our 4th evolution, we can aim for more by adding a critical chance Riven, using Arcane Avenger, and playing a Warframe that increases critical chance so we can gain red crit numbers on our Incarnon Prisma Angstrom. You can pair this gun with Yareli to increase its fire rate and critical chance, or Warframes like Ash with Smoke Shadow, Zephyr while hovering in the air, or even a teaming Virulence Nidus. By the way, it seems like teaming Virulence is not working after Echoes of Duviri, and I think that this is a bug that should be fixed as soon as possible. But the red crit Prisma Angstrom is not the best synergy I'm talking about. This new Incarnon weapon right here is the new toy of Mag, and it's insane with the Warframe. With Mag, you can instantly activate the Incarnon form of Prisma Angstrom in one shot by shooting enemies inside the bubble. In addition to this, the damage of the Incarnon form paired with Mag's bubble is insane. Basically, all you need to do is group enemies with Mag's bubble, charge your Incarnon, unload the charges of the Incarnon, and then just rinse and repeat the whole process. It's the most efficient way to use this new Incarnon weapon right now. But wait, there's more. If you noticed, the projectile of the weapon after striking a target just randomly hits enemies that are near the target. If there's no target, then it just bounces off until it randomly hits one or just fades without actually hitting something. This can be fixed by subsuming Aksaku Zaksata's Whisper in your Warframe. Not only does the ability give you void damage and destroy sentient resistance, but it also allows the projectile of the Prisma Angstrom to stay in the target and bounce multiple times, which results in more damage. Now just imagine pairing this with Mag's bubble. It's really an insane combo that you should try out right now. And lastly, let's talk about my Incarnon Prisma Angstrom build. If you are using this with Mag, then stop at 5 format to equip all these mods. But if you are using it as a general purpose gun, then you should really add steady hands, as the gun has high recoil in both forms. It's not that important, but it makes aiming a bit easier, especially for those players who struggle with aiming in the game. Also, for general use, such as going on Duviri missions, I would suggest replacing the primed faction mode with the usual Hornet Strike. While it will have some diminishing return with Cascadia Flare, it's better than having low damage against the Worm boss fight, if you are just doing the Steel Path circuit and the faction mode stays. Why Cascadia Flare? Because it gives a bonus damage boost in the shortest time possible. You can stack the 480% max damage boost of this arcane when you are in Incarnon form. The only problem with this, though, is that you will need to make sure that you are in Incarnon form most of the time, as all that buff from Cascadia Flare will be gone in an instant once the timer expires. One last thing before you leave is to give more damage boost for Mag's combo. Since galvanized status mods work with the Incarnon form, you can use Cedo as a primer gun to shoot the status projectile inside Mag's bubble and drop tons of status before shooting the Incarnon Prisma Angstrom. More damage is more fun in this game. So that's all about it. I hope that you have learned something from this video. Be sure to check tomorrow, as I have more crazy synergy videos with the new Incarnon weapons. If you are not subscribed yet, then please do so to help the channel grow and keep you updated with our latest uploads. Don't forget to leave a like and comment if you enjoy the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.